We're live.
We're
So, hey,
live.
we're live. Hey, Al.
Hey, Chris.
you,
So, what's the
you
subject tonight? People at
you don't
Walmart.
you don't like to call me Chris. Well, because over the holiday weekend, I made a trip to Walmart. Which I
Did
don't,
you?
yeah, which I don't, I'm not a real fan of going to Walmart too much because it's too big. But anyway, and
You have the big one. I don't have a big
I
one.
mean, this is yeah, we have the big ones. Well, you need the big ones, but
I know we need the big one, but I don't have a
we
big
have the big, yeah, we have the big ones. So to walk from, but no, and then the first time I've seen what I'm going to say here. It's not the first time. Um, the women, usually younger women, that buy their clothes, their pants like three sizes too small, so it only go up to the middle of their butt. So now you get the butt crack showing, right? You know what I'm talking about?
one. You got the plumber's butt.
The plumber's
You don't
butt,
have
yeah.
to tell me. You don't have to tell me. I've worked with people like that. They're all doing that.
Right, but I mean
All doing that.
because the pants no the pants are too small, so they're only going to go up so far. Now they go and they say, "Oh, look at that pretty shirt. I want to buy that. I'm gonna buy it
Mhm.
three sizes too small."
Of course.
Okay, now usually these women are overweight. Now I'm no supermodel, but I'm just saying. So I'm not criticizing their weight. I'm criticizing that they must just stand in front of the mirror before they leave to go to Walmart. And they're
Mhm.
like, okay, my pants are like showing my butt, my big butt. My shirt is three sizes too small. So I got some fat hanging here, some fat hanging there, fat pushing out there. And they look in the mirror and they're like, all right, I look great. And off they
I'm
go to
looking.
Walmart.
I'm looking hot. I'm looking hot.
I
Walmart.
mean, how do they do? I mean, when I go somewhere, anywhere, I'm trying to put a top that's long, that
Well,
covers everything.
I thought
That
clothes were supposed to help make you look better. And I see this not just that I don't go to Walmart much because Walmart's not, it's not convenient
right,
for me. If there was
right.
one, if they would put one without 50 traffic lights, then I would shop there more. But I don't know why. They got these
But
films
you've
out there
seen it.
for they got
You've
these they
seen
got
it.
these films out there for Walmart. It's like, what is it about Walmart that attracts these people? Because I don't see films of people of Sears or the people of what is it about Walmart
No, not
that brings
Sears
in
or
the people?
Macy's or even Target. You
No.
don't see that. It's so well. I think because Walmart gets so many people. Again, like here, our stores, they're all superstores.
Hmm.
So they're getting one
Well, I
stop
mean,
shopping.
I've seen it. I've seen it. Not just at Walmart. I've seen it. I've worked with it, and it's like you got it. You always got to have. And I'm not. I love women. I have total. I work with mostly women.
But do
I
you want to
have
look at
total
the
respect for
fat hanging
women,
out all
but
day?
but it always seems like the women that do this are, like you said, they're overweight. Okay, people are 99% of the population does not have the body, men and women, of the
Right,
people that you see
right,
in the
right,
magazines, and most of
right,
those are computerized anyway. So
right.
they're fixed anyway. So if you're going to be overweight, and okay, 60% of the population is, wear something that helps complement your body.
Or
I'm
hide
sorry,
it.
but people don't
When I
want to
get
see
dressed to
that.
go somewhere, I'm trying to hide it. I gotta hide
People
it. It gotta
don't
be
want to
long.
see that. So why are they saying, hey, you know what? I got some fat, I got some rolls of skin. I'm going to show everybody. I'm going to
I'm go.
accent. I'm going to accent it. I'm going to, in fact, you know what? I'm going to make myself look fatter than I am.
Yeah. Why?
You
Why
know,
do they do that? They have to
Uh,
look in the mirror.
I was in
Well,
I
I
was
don't
in
have
the
to, but
grocery I was in the grocery store a few years ago. Two young girls, right? Two young girls. The one girl just dressed like an average, probably 20-year-old girl. The other girl, it's summertime. The other girl is probably 40 or 50 pounds overweight. Has got one of those what do you call them? Tube tops, the stretchy things
yeah,
that go
yeah,
around there.
yeah.
Pale white skin, blotchy skin, her stomach's hanging out, and she's wearing biker shorts. Biker shorts are like skin tight. So now the biker shorts are like squeezing all the skin, even if it's not fat, squeezing all the excess skin and everything else. Her stomach's hanging out. And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe her friend stood there and said, "You know what, Susie?
No.
You looking hot. You looking hot
Yeah,
in those biker pants. In fact, why don't you just wear them an extra size smaller and you can even look fatter than you are? I don't get it.
well,
I
it
don't
doesn't
get it.
matter what their friends tell them though. They have to be
Well,
looking in some kind of mirror.
they
And
gotta
when
look
they
at
go to buy those clothes, they know they're buying them up to 3 sizes too small.
right.
I know someone, you know, that's in my life that I'll, be nameless, but that's what she does. In the summertime, she's a little overweight, and she, anyway, she'd wear these stretchy bandlon tops, and they would literally be 3 sizes too small. So now
I don't get it. I
it's
don't get
like,
it.
and then you wash them, now they're even tighter. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's not
Well, and
about the.
let's now, it reminds me because it's not. I'm not here to just criticize women because I remember, and I haven't been to the beach for a long time, but it never failed when I went. There was always the guy who was probably 60 years old plus. There was always a couple of them, not a young guy. It
Yeah.
was always a 60-year-old guy, always had the gold chain around, always had leather dark skin, had a stomach that was hanging down to his crotch, and he wore the Speedos.
The hairy
Nobody else
chest
wore
is all over the place.
nobody else wore the guy with the six pack didn't wear the
Right.
Speedos. No, he had the nice baggy trunks that looked what was in style. No, it's the guy with a big stomach. It's like, bud, if you wore just your basic trunks, you might still have a stomach, but when you put that tiny little
Right.
thing that looks like, you're close to a G string on a guy, now his stomach looks 3 times bigger. And nobody wants to, and you know what? Everything else coming out of that, too. Nobody wants to see that. I don't want to see it.
Well, but you know what? Sometimes it'll be like a say a fairly attractive girl, not too much overweight, even, right?
Mhm.
But they buy because they're young and their stomachs aren't toned. They still buy those skin tight jeans that does
Mhm.
not fit them.
Right.
Now they're pushing any loose skin they have up. So now they have a spare tire.
Right.
Where
Where
if
they
these
wouldn't
women,
have.
if
Where
they
they
would,
wouldn't have.
yeah, if they would dress would fit them, they wouldn't even look overweight.
Right.
But no, I want to look overweight. I want to put the spare
And
tire.
why is it? And then they're wearing all the pants are low. So, like you said before, now, because like I said, I've seen this on a daily basis,
I know.
and now you always had the women complaining about the men's, the plumber's butt. Now you got the women, I don't, maybe they want to be plumbers. I don't know. But now, people just don't want to see all that stuff. They don't want to see it. I
But
don't
they
know.
have
I
to
don't
look
want
in
to
the
see it.
mirror and say, "Look, I look good. There's fat coming here, out of here, over
I need a
here.
little more fat
Can't
showing
pull my
up.
jeans up because they ain't coming up. So
That
I
ain't
gotta just
coming
show
up.
that butt crack. And the more I walk around Walmart, the more those jeans are coming down, and then I'm behind them, and now I'm watching what looks like two raccoons trying to get out of a bag, and
Well,
and
no, that
I
that
got
comes
just
with that comes with the ones with the huge butt that are
well,
about 400 pounds, and they decide to wear spandex. And it's like freaking, they take one step, and every inch of their body starts at the top, and it jiggles all the way down to the bottom.
yeah, it does.
And
It's
it's
like
like I don't
two
want to.
animals trying to get out of a bag. Boom, boom, boom,
Right.
boom, 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 boom.
Why are you wearing something so everybody sees
Well,
every
here's
little
another
thing
thing.
you got?
Walmart sells women's clothes up to 6X. They
Hmm.
sell men's T-shirts up to 6X. Okay, all these women have to do is go in there and get one of them 6X T-shirts. Now it's going to cover that butt that looks like two raccoons are trying to fight their way out of a bag, and just cover it up. And then no one's going to give them a second look.
Right.
I mean, they're overweight. Okay, whatever. But no, they had got to have a shirt that's way above their waistline, so we can see that butt that looks like it's two raccoons trying to fight their way out of a bag. And I've actually stayed behind people, I'm going down the aisle, and I'm like, oh my god, that's just how did you get that butt? How did you get that butt? I mean, there's overweight, and then there's where did you get that butt? And I'm talking about white women.
I know. There was a thing a couple years ago. There's a thing a couple years ago. The pharmaceutical industries have had to redesign their needles on some of their products because the American people, they're talking men and women, butts have gotten so big that they had to make longer needles. That's
Are you
that.
serious?
Pharmaceutical companies actually had to redesign and make a whole set of new needles because people's butts, because Americans' butts, are getting bigger. And it can't get through. I guess for I don't know what all kind of shots they give you. I know they give you a penicillin shot in the butt. I don't know what all kind of shots they give you in the butt. But if, they're getting to the point where it's like, the needle isn't long enough. I mean,
the doctor would be like, okay, Lucy, the nurse, got to bring me in the super needle.
Right.
Super needle.
Get the extension. Get the extension.
Yeah.
We got a big one here. I mean, come on, it's like the American population. And, when I look back in my yearbook back in the day. I won't say how old I am, but back in the day.
No, back in the day.
And you look at all of the guys and girls, and once in a while you see that person in school that was overweight. They were always overweight. But when you look at the pictures and look at the activity pictures in the yearbook, so you can see, you just look at all of their photos that they did for the yearbook, and then you flip through the yearbook and it shows them, whatever, doing different things, and you see nobody was overweight. Now you see, now you see kids in high school, guys, and half of them are overweight, and we're talking in high school, So
it's just, even like back, let me see, this is. Well, get it right. Maybe 12 years ago. About 12 years ago. But my youngest son was in high school, and I would go pick him up sometimes. Mm-hmm. And even this many years ago, you would not see very many really thin, pretty girls walking out. I want to say like 60% were somewhat overweight. Where back in the day, it was just here and there.
Right.
Overweight.
Right.
Now it's like,
it's
more than half.
It's all
coming out of high school.
It's fast food. It's come on. You don't even have to get up to change the channel anymore. You got to use the remote. You don't have to go to the store anymore. You just just order something.
Right.
Yeah. You don't even have to turn your key in the newer cars. You press a button. Come on. You don't even use your fingers.
Or what about that? What's it called? Lexus. Turn on the light, Lexus. Turn it down, Lexus.
Well, yeah. Lexus. You don't even have to turn the steering wheel to park it, parallel park it. It parks it.
Well, I'm talking about the inside. I'm not saying it right. Is it Lexus?
Yeah, Lexus.
Turn on the light. Turn on the TV.
Well, everything's going to go to voice activated things. That's the trend now. Everything's going to be voice activated, but most of it, I think, of course, it's fast food, frozen dinners. People don't, eat the meals like when I was growing up, you didn't have all this, you went to a McDonald's, for a big treat. That was a treat.
For a treat. That was a treat.
Or, when you're in high school, maybe you went to the pizza parlor or something, but when you went home, it was just food cooked. And sure, there's always been people. I don't want, I'm not discriminating against people that are overweight.
Yeah, you might not want to do that. Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it's like we don't want to see. I don't want to see all the rolls of fat coming out of your. No. If you've got, if you got a man or a woman. I've always said this about a man. You take a man, all right, and he's got a big stomach, and you put a suit and tie on him, and he's got, a jacket on, you don't pay attention. Oh, he's kind of a big guy, right?
Right.
Now, if you
Right.
take that same guy and put on a skin tight T-shirt only down to his navel, so you can see his stomach hanging out.
Right.
Okay,
And then
pull his shorts down, pull his
below.
shorts down so they're right about even with his butt crack. Now, every time he bends over, his stomach bulging out, his butt crack's hanging out. I don't want to see that either.
And that man, that very man right there, is the first one to criticize a woman's body.
Oh yeah. Well,
The
please.
first one to say,
oh yeah, men are, you see all these men, and I've known a few and even heard the conversation where they got a big stomach on them. I was somewhere years ago when I was married, and I went to something to do with their company, and it was an auction or something, and I was being introduced to this this woman's husband. I already knew the woman through my ex-wife, and being introduced to the husband. And we're standing there, and the guy's got not a huge stomach, but he got a stomach on him. He didn't have any great body. He stands there, and he's right in front of us, and we're talking about something. And he looks at his wife, who was very attractive, had a very nice figure, and pats her stomach and says, "Did you put on a little extra 5 there?"
Oh my God.
It's the same thing as like the guys who sit there and go, "Honey, maybe maybe thought about getting, breast implants." And I always want, I knew somebody that's boyfriend said that to him, and I said to her, you know what? What you need to say is I need breast implants. Well, you know what an implant you need.
Yep.
You need to look down. You look to me to look down below your belt.
How would men feel if they were judged like a lot of men, not all, judge women like, oh, their stomach has to be flat, their breasts have to be a certain size. What if men were judged by, that was all their private part was always showing, and they would judge by that.
Well, all it takes is a guy, husband or boyfriend, to make one remark like that, one time. Say, honey, maybe you think about getting breast implants. Okay, she will know from then on that he is not happy with her.
Well,
and how horrible is that? You need to learn to accept people for them and not,
Well, look at the men, the married men, as a little older, and then you hear them complain, "Oh, my wife doesn't want to have sex anymore. We used to have sex all the time." Well, when your wife sees you looking at, younger or more attractive women right in front of you, or saying that you might need to lose some weight or get bigger breasts, and then that man wonders why his wife doesn't feel comfortable sleeping with him anymore.
All it takes is one remark like that, instead of they want to compare their wives to some supermodel that's in a magazine that's not even a real. They take these magazines and they take a photo of these models, and even these models, they sit there and and computer enhance them. I saw something on TV one time where they were showing, and they were taking this woman. They show a photograph of her laying down, beautiful model. She's laying down in like a swimsuit. And now the guy says, well, let me see. With this one, we're going to lengthen her thigh just a little bit. And we're going to lengthen her neck just slightly. So you see, when you look at these pictures of these women in the magazines that everybody is saying, why don't I look like that? They don't look like that. And then they're airbrushed all over. They don't have a freckle, a mole, anything. It's like, it's all fake. It's all judged by. Right. And that's what they judge by. And then these men see these and they're like, honey, why don't you look like that? And it's like.
And they comment on it. And then
it's always the ones, and it's the ones that, they got, the stomach or, they got the beer gut or whatever going on, and that's fine, but don't put that, especially your significant other. What a freaking insult, You can't even accept her for her. You got to sit there and go, you're not a supermodel. Yeah, you're a real supermodel, bud. You know, you look like a little, a pig. But, you're going to sit there and want your wife to look a certain way. And then,
Right.
it's pretty sad.
And we're talking about, women and how they dress. It's also, and I used to go to bingo some with my mom, and I know people don't have money. I don't have, but they're at bingo spending upwards of maybe $50 or more for bingo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they come in, they have no bra, and you see this in Walmart too. No bra, breast hanging down to the belly button, and then a dirty old clingy T-shirt. And I'm like, can you just buy one bra? Just one bra. Maybe you don't have a lot of money. Go buy one bra. Walmart, $20. Save that bra for when you go to Walmart or you go to bingo. Or they're at bingo, now they don't have no teeth. Maybe they don't have dental insurance. Okay.
Right.
So why do you gotta wait to get to bingo to have your dinner, and you're sitting there and you're chomping on the food and it's flying out of your mouth because you have no teeth in? Okay, at least sit there subtly,
It's called have a little class. Because people
exactly.
like that, they just don't. But you know what? People like that, they don't. I guess you and I think most people, we care somewhat about how we appear to others. And I think people like this, it just doesn't bother them. They're there for themselves. They don't worry about it. They don't care. Maybe in one way that's good. They don't worry about, that guy or that woman over there is going to think
it's
that,
okay. It's okay to, to each their own how they want to dress. But, I mean, you're there, you look so horrible. I'm sorry. You have these big breasts hanging down to literally your belly button. And then you got to put a clingy T-shirt on. And then the T-shirt has like, dirt all over it. And then you come in with no teeth. And you're not so poor where you can't go to bingo where you spend upwards of $50, if not more.
I understand.
And they're sitting there buying all their instants, and that costs money, and food flying out of their mouth because they have no teeth to keep it in.
I understand.
So I guess it's class. It's no class.
I mean, I understand if they can't afford. I think if they lost their teeth, they can't afford that. But like you said, they can afford a decent looking T-shirt, and they can afford one bra.
Yeah, just buy one bra.
People like that, but they don't care. That's the thing. They don't care. It's like walking into somebody's house and it's just, crap everywhere and it's dirty and all that. And they're like, yeah, come on in, and they're not like, oh, sorry, the place is really, no, just come on in. Oh, let me move this out of your way. Sit down. They don't think anything of it. They don't care what anybody else thinks. They don't care.
Well,
most people, I think, have a little bit of, self-respect, or maybe it's not self-respect, but they want people to think you look. You try to look, especially if you're going out to, let's say you're talking about bingo. We're gonna be, it's an event. You're gonna go out. You ain't gotta wear a formal dress, but put on something clean. Take a shower. And that's men and women. Take a freaking shower.
Walmart, $20, you can buy a decent bra. Save that bra with a nice T-shirt or shirt. And if you want to go around the house like that, just put that bra on.
In comes the guy walking in with a white T-shirt on and food stains all over it.
Yeah.
Did you forget to take that off after you ate spaghetti?
No.
Did you not feel like wearing a bib or something? I don't know. But it's like they don't care. They don't care.
And that's different than you see someone that, is working on a project at their house or painting, and they run in for some more paint or something, and they have paint on them. That's totally different. These people, they just get up and put that same dirty, stained shirt on.
Right.
And usually their sweatpants where the butt's hanging down to the knee, back of their knee, and they're all dirty too.
Mm-hmm.
And you're glancing to see, God, what kind of stains are on those pants,
Do you remember that show? What was that show on a few years ago. It was fascinating. It was about they would set up for these child predators,
Oh,
and they would set up a mock house.
yeah, what was
Remember,
that
and they
called?
would have
Yeah, yeah,
and they had the young girl who was actually overage, but she looked really young. And they would email them on they would the cops and stuff would get into these websites, and these people would sit there and be talking to what they thought was a 14 or 15. These
right,
guys be
yeah,
talking to a 15. Then they would show up at their house, and the cops would be sitting out there waiting for them. And then I
yeah.
was watching that show one time, and this one guy drove 4 hours, to have sex with this 15-year-old girl, and comes getting out of his he was a truck driver, gets out of it. He got this big old stomach. The t-shirt is too small. The t-shirt didn't even go down to his
Right.
uh his belt, where his stomach was sticking, his skin was coming out of it. And he had all these stains
And
all
the
over the
T-shirt
front
was
of his
dirty.
t-shirt.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
t-shirt was all dirty, and it's like, first of all, you're a sick pedophile, and second of all, you can at least be a clean pedophile. Do you really think
Yeah.
that you're going to go to this girl's house and you're going to be all dirty and smell, and she's going to want you? See, that's what I'm saying. Is people
And
like that, they don't even
you're
care.
30 years older than her.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
And
just like you're. I mean, yeah, you're sick to begin with if you think you want to that you want to have sex with this 15-year-old, but then you come out of there all gross and smelly and stains
yeah.
all over your shirt and your skin. See, people like that, they don't care.
And they're like, I'm here. Like walking in
Yeah,
the dirty feet.
yeah, but I mean, I mean, that guy was just like when he climbed out of that truck, I was like, oh my god, you know, I don't care who you came to see, they ain't gonna want to see that. But people don't care.
A whole different
Now you
breed of
see,
people.
you can take a guy who's dressed that way, right? And he's got his stomach hanging out and all this stuff. His t-shirt's too short, it's too big, it's skin tight on him. And you could take that same guy and take a shirt that fit him and have it hang out, a casual dress shirt, and you wouldn't even notice. You wouldn't be focused on, look at his big old stomach hanging out. You just see, oh, okay, that guy's a big guy. You know, that's, I thought, the way you're supposed to dress, to try to, like, you know, uh, not necessarily cover up, but look the best for your body that you can. But like you talk about the women in Walmart, or some of these women, it's like, I don't know, they're trying to accent the bad and not accent the good.
No, they have to think they look good. I don't think
Well, they have to
a lot of
say,
times their hair is done nice. They got makeup on. You know, some of them are tan. So they have to look in that mirror before they leave and say, I look good.
you think they got one of those kind of mirrors? It's like they used to have in the stores where they got the three views,
It
when
wouldn't
you stand
matter.
in front of it. You see the side, the front, and the back. You think they're going like, I don't know.
It,
Do
would,
I got enough skin
it wouldn't
hanging
matter.
out? You know what? Maybe if I take this belt and pull a little tighter, more skin's gonna come over my belt. You know?
Belt, they don't have belts on. They don't have belts
I don't
on.
know.
Those pants are like down, literally showing half of their butt. Where's the belt? Well, they might have a belt, but the pants aren't going anywhere. They're so
All I
tight.
know is when they bend over,
And some of them
somersault.
don't need to bend over.
No, oh, I
I've
know.
been
I
behind
know.
women. I can't say I saw any men like that, butt cracks, but I've been behind women in Walmart.
I've seen men walking around with their pants hanging down so far, and their butt cracks hanging out. I don't want to see it on a woman. I don't want to see it on a man.
No,
I
no.
just don't want
I,
to see
I've
it.
seen it more on women though, but I'm sure because most men don't have the big butt. They might have the big guts,
Hmm.
but they don't have the big butt. It's like just out and across and you know wobbling with each step. Right leg, that side
Right.
jiggles. Left
Right.
leg, that side jiggles. You don't see that many men like that.
Well, it only jiggles
Mostly
because,
women.
like I said, they're wearing skin tight spandex. They're not wearing a
Well,
pair of slacks or
they're
something,
well, it's
or even a pair
jiggling
of
too
jeans.
because it's so big.
Yeah, but you wouldn't see that if they're wearing like a pair of jeans or something. They wouldn't be
And
jiggling
what
like
do
that
they
because
eat? What do you eat to get a butt that's so big? What do you eat to make that butt? that we're not talking
Butt,
about just a butt.
butt
We're
food,
talking about,
butt
you
food,
know, what kind of food?
butt food.
Butt food.
Yeah,
Yeah, what kind of food is butt food?
it just all goes to your butt. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
like,
Well, I mean, everybody puts on weight different. I mean,
oh yeah,
I'm
but
not putting them down for having a big butt. I'm just putting them down because they want to make sure that they
we're putting
act
them
on it and
down
make
for wanting to show that naked big butt to us. We don't
right.
want to see it.
I don't want to see your big naked butt. You
No.
know,
Or
I'm
we don't
gonna
want to see your little tube top, just, got some fat here hanging, fat here hanging, fat
you
here
know
hanging.
no,
But
and
they all
you
look
know
nice in the face. They got the makeup put on nice, the hair's all nice, you know.
yeah, and let me tell you a little story. One time when I was in the grocery store, so I'm in the grocery store. Oh
Not
my
Walmart.
lord! No, this was just a typical grocery store. So I'm walking in the grocery store, and my eyes catch it's summertime. I think it may have been a holiday like Fourth of July. I'm walking in there, and I see this woman, and she's got on a pair of shorts that look like what in the 70s they called hot pants. The bottom of
Yeah.
the shorts were right at the bottom of her butt cheeks, right up to her crotch. Okay, and I'm looking, and she's got on a like some kind of shirt that only comes part way down. You know what I mean? It's like one of
Like
those
a
little
little, like a
tops.
midriff, like they
Yeah,
call them midriff
yeah,
tops. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. And I'm like, and I could tell because her legs, unfortunately, and some people can't help this, were just covered in that cellulite stuff. Okay, not cellulite. Is it cellulite cellulite where they have like it looks like all the dimples and stuff in the skin. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So I know that this person is old. Oh, and she's got on spike high heels. So I had to see this
That was
because all
me.
I saw caught it from the
That was
back.
me.
I'm like,
That was
oh,
me.
that was you. No, I had to see it. I mean, natural curiosity says, what the hell is on the other side of it? So I have to sort of figure out a way to get to the other end of the store and get in front of her real quick. Rather than just going around, I was afraid I might lose. I just sort of like
But
started
you're trying to run past her to get in
I'm
front
trying
of
to
her.
walk past her to get and then so then I walk past her real fast and then I just kind of turn around like I'm looking at something. Oh my God. I mean, she was pushing, probably late 60s.
Wow.
She had on, like I said, like little hot pants jeans. Her stomach was kind of hanging out. She wasn't real heavy, but she was in her late 60s.
Right.
You're
So the
not going to
skin's
have a
all
firm body. So
right.
you just got this loose skin kind of hanging over, you know? And she had, her face had a ton of makeup. Like I'm talking like makeup where it's like the super bright like lipstick and the super bright,
Right.
super heavy eye stuff. But she, her face actually looked older than somebody in her late 60s. I mean, I think she was, but she had a lot of wrinkles in her face and all this stuff. And I just thought, what what is
What?
are you just hoping people will stare? Because I'm sorry, people are gonna snicker at that.
Well, and
It's
again,
just not
you
normal.
have to think that
Right,
she
but what was
looks
the
great.
reason? Did she just want that attention? Did she think that young guys or whatever, or maybe people her age are gonna look
No,
at her and go, "I want
I
that"?
think they think that they look good.
It was
You know,
scary looking.
she
It
got the
actually
short dress
scared me.
on. She got the high heels on. The midriff
When,
top, all the
when I
makeup.
went
No,
when
she
I
must
went in,
look good.
I don't know what my face looked like when I went in front of her. I
I would like,
probably went, "Oh my
I would
God."
like to see that.
I might have like, yeah, jerk. And
I would like to
that
see
makes me
you trying to get in front of her. I'm trying to picture that. Like you
well,
see her from the back, and you're like, I have to see what this
well,
woman looks
yeah,
like.
because she was almost to the other store, so I had to just walk real quick. And just as I passed her, I kind of turned around, like looking at something, and then I'm sure I probably like had this shocked look on my face, like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I know. I'm
And
trying to picture that. I like to see that. Like, see you try to like get up in front of her and then turn around. I
and
don't know.
that makes me think of something else when I talked about those hot pants. because this is something that really like starts to this. I didn't see them last year. Maybe it wasn't the trend, but a couple years ago, by where I worked, there's a drugstore, and I'd seen it before. And the high school girls were about 16 years old, 17, 18. Okay, they got the teenager body. They got a nice body. They're a young teenager girl. They're
Yeah.
wearing these little cotton shorts that are just like that, where they're literally the bottom of the shorts is about even with their crotch. So half their butt is sticking out. I mean, they're probably only about 4 inches long in the whole shorts, right?
Right. Right.
Okay, you want to show off. Now, this one girl's in there, her mom, she was in there with her mom. And on the back of the shorts, on her butt, is written something to do with the school. Like, I don't know if it was the school name, whether she was like on a cheer. Anyway, I remembered seeing it and I knew it had something to do with the school. Okay. Whatever, whoever, Abraham Lincoln High School or something. And
Right.
so maybe it had Lincoln across its butt. And this guy is looking, probably, I don't know how old he was, 30, 40. And the woman turns to the guy and says, "You really need to get your eyes off my young daughter."
Oh wow.
Now,
See. Oh.
now, you're wearing this pair of shorts. There was only one reason that name in bold, raised type is written across her butt, and that's so you look at it. You can't look at it any other way.
Or some of them are sexy across it.
Well, your eyes automatically go to it. And the whole purpose of putting it there is so they'll look at it. So the guy didn't do, I think the guy was embarrassed. And I think if she'd said it to me, I'd say, "You're the one who let your daughter out of the house wearing a pair of shorts that the whole purpose of them is so that somebody will look at their butt. So it's obvious to me that you wanted people looking at your daughter's butt."
Right. Or that makes me think of, you have the women that wear, and attractive women that wear very, very revealing shirt that shows most of their breast, right? And they're attractive and they have nice looking breasts. And then they're talking to a man, and some of them, will say, "What are you looking at? My eyes are up here."
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, your eyes are up there, but you put that shirt on showing most of your breast for who to see?
Or they'll wear something that says like "I'm sexy," and the writing, they're wearing a black T-shirt, and the writing is "I'm sexy" right across their chest.
Right.
Okay. You got that shirt, and you said, "Let me put this on." Well, you know what? It says "I'm sexy" right across where my breasts are on the shirt.
But don't look at it.
I certainly hope nobody looks at it, because if they do, I'm going to get really mad. And I saw somebody one time say to a guy, "What are you looking at?" Yeah. And the guy said, "I was looking at your shirt."
That's right.
And it's like, what did you get it for? You got it so that men would look there. Why do you have any T-shirt that has writing on it? For people to look at the writing.
Read it. Right.
And it's like the girl with the shorts on the butt. She should have maybe had a T-shirt that said, "Your eyes don't need to be up here on my back," and then put an arrow down. "I want you to look at my butt."
Well, and that's what they want you to look at.
Well, yeah, but my whole thing was,
and if this happened to you, if you were in line and that exact same thing happened to you, and the mother's like, what would you say?
That's what I said. What would I say? I'd say, maybe you shouldn't let your daughter out of the house with a pair of shorts on that have writing across her butt.
And you could also say,
designed for people to look at her butt.
And I have poor vision, so I have to get a lot closer to see what that says.
Well, I would have.
Yeah. Say, hey, it wasn't big enough for me.
I mean, that's what I would have said to her. Why do you let her wearing something that the writing on her butt makes your eyes automatically focus to that? When she got the little shorts, it's like, "Look, Mom, it says, Lincoln High on my butt." And you went, "Oh, Susie, that's so cute. As long as nobody looks at the writing."
Nobody looks at it. Right. Or the same thing with showing their breast, and they
Mhm.
get insulted when a man is look. I mean, if I'm in front of a woman that's attractive, very attractive, and she got a low cut top on, I'm sorry, and like men, but I'm going to look at her breast. Attractive is attractive.
Right.
So I understand how men could, stare at this woman's breast that she's putting out there. She's not dressing for women.
Mm-mm.
She's not putting that low cut shirt on for women.
Right.
Some women like to say that they dress for women. No, they don't.
They're not showing
Dress
cleavage.
for
They're not showing cleavage for their female office workers.
men. No,
They're
they're
showing
certainly
it.
not
They're showing it to feel sexy and to look sexy for men.
for men.
And there's
For
nothing
men.
wrong with that. But don't have a problem when I look.
That's
I'm gonna
right. I mean,
look. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look. It's there. You put it out there for me to see. You know. I mean, I
no,
just had
I
a
think
thought. I just had a thought. You know what? Maybe we should bring this up to Walmart. Back to
what?
the Walmart thing. How about if Walmart had like a little set of bleachers
Yeah.
and they put a big sign over it saying Walmart watchers? And so everybody could go. Anybody who wants a show could just go sit in the bleachers while they're resting from their shopping, and that would be so you could just sit there and watch the Walmart
Well,
shopper show.
years ago when I would go to Walmart, call you, and we'd talk, and I'd sit in the car, and I'd be like, well, okay, I just don't want to go home yet. I'm just in the car, and I would see all the people going by, and I mean, they turn your head, and I remember one time, there was this young, beautiful young woman, like about 20 something, and she had the hot pants on, and she had the heels on. She was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Stared at her all
Right.
square to
On
her.
the butt, and
Well, I was just looking at it, but
I know, but
you don't see that very much. It's like a beautiful woman stands out at Walmart. They really do. A beautiful or attractive woman in Walmart will
but
stand
why?
out.
But why?
I,
Why is
I
it
don't know.
Walmart?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, why are these people that have these videos online about all the videos of people at Walmart? Why don't they have them, like you said, at Macy's or the people of
Well,
Sears or the
I
people
was
of
at
Kmart?
I was at the Olive Garden restaurant years ago, and I was with people, I don't even remember who. And they give you those buzzards, and you go
Uh-huh.
outside and wait, and they buzz you when your table's ready. And we were standing outside, and there was a woman, it happened to be an African American woman, and she was probably in her 50s.
That live where I do. Because even though I live in a high rise complex and I realize that the whole building is your home, you don't know how many times I'll see these women and they've got a house coat on, they've got their hair in curlers, they got their house slippers on, they're walking down to get their mail, they're walking out through the lobby, they're standing down there talking to somebody, and it's like you couldn't even just put some clothes on. I mean, you're even though this high rise your home, it's a public place, and I don't know.
Oh,
It
but
just
it's
seems weird
public.
to me. I wouldn't.
It's
I wouldn't
public.
get my mail in a pair of house slippers and a
No,
robe,
no, no.
even
Just throw on a
and
t-shirt.
pajamas on. Yeah, I
Yeah,
would.
just throw a t-shirt and some sweatpants to go check
But
your mail.
going to a restaurant that way.
Oh yeah, so I
She's
say
probably,
usually you do that and then take your hair down and fix it and look nice and
well,
get dressed. No,
she's
this
probably
woman
going
did
to
it the
dinner.
opposite.
She's probably going to dinner before she went shopping at Walmart.
Yeah.
Right?
She's at Walmart and got hungry and
Yeah,
thought,
but
oh,
if you
go.
have a little set of bleachers, then you could just have Walmart watchers. They could even charge a little for it. I'd pay.
Oh, I think
And
there
they
are
just
like
sit there.
Walmart watchers. I don't think they have
Well,
bleachers, obviously, but there are people that I don't know, like maybe men waiting for their women to go, their wives to go and shopping, and they sit in their car. Like I would sit in the car sometime, talk to you, and you see people that you just can't believe are out and about. Just can't believe it.
I wonder what it is. These people that dress really bizarre or just horribly like that, and they go, I need a new toothbrush. You know what? Walmart's where I need to go because that's where people like me go. I don't know. They don't go to their local drugstore, and I'm going to go to Walmart. Because
No, you
seriously,
don't see that in other stores. You don't see it.
Mm-mm. Not really, really. I mean, I don't see it in, the drugstores or the grocery stores very often. Not like I go to the grocery store a lot, but I need to do that. But
But you don't
I,
see it in those grocery stores that you go to. You don't see it.
mm-mm.
You don't see it in the other grocery stores around here. You don't see it in a Target even.
I was gonna say I used to
Target
go to
isn't.
Target quite a bit, and I never saw that kind of stuff in Target. I don't know. It's something about Walmart that just I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah, Target isn't this high you know class store. Target,
Target,
Marshalls, yeah, any of them. You just don't see it. You see
Target,
casually dressed, yeah, but you don't see
it's
it.
Target. It's the high class Walmart, Target. That's what it is.
What
The
is it?
higher Target.
Target. Oh, Target.
Mhm.
Target is
Yeah,
Target.
Target. Yeah.
Oh, I
The
never
higher
heard that
class.
before.
Yeah, it's a little. I don't know. The Walmart that's in my area, I used to like the Target. I don't know why. I don't know. It was always brighter and it looked cleaner and more spacious. And the Walmart, although, I go so little now, always kind of seem more cluttered and everything else.
Walmart?
And
Well, because they're trying
Target,
to put so much into your Walmarts because you don't have the room. The city doesn't have
maybe.
the room to put those super Walmarts.
Right.
Because I remember
Well,
before when they first built Walmart and it was just a regular Walmart, they did
right.
appear messy, and they're trying to put so much into a smaller space. But if you walk
Mhm.
into a Walmart, a super Walmart, they're pretty nice. And not
Yeah.
because they're so big.
Well, like I said, I went to a super mall Walmart years ago one time, and it was like, oh my God, you could put a football stadium in this place. But they built a grocery store by me that you could put a football stadium in, and I don't like stores like that. I used to like the small grocery stores, and now all the grocery stores are gigantic, and they do it so you can put marketing says you put your bread on this side and you put your milk on the other side of the store so that you go from one side and you have to pass through everything. I mean, they've got those stores laid out. They know how to where to put the
Oh,
stuff
I'm sure. I
so that
remember,
you have to pass by.
years ago, my youngest son worked at a grocery store. Oh, he worked at Walmart. I'm sorry, and he worked at another grocery store too. But he said that when they stocked the shelves at Walmart too, they only put a few items. Like I guess like three or four of something, and
Mm-hmm.
then that makes the that make I think I have this right. They make the shopper think, oh, I better get that. They only have a few left.
Right. Right. I only have a few left.
I mean, a lot of stores are very conscious of
I mean,
where they
I
put
know, but
everything.
I just don't like these gigantic stores. I mean, you need like a little. They have the walking side those moving sidewalks they call them. It's like a big conveyor belt you step on when
Yeah.
you're carrying it, and you walk real fast. They need those, or they need to have like little trains going around because I don't want to walk 3 miles to go
Well, now
grocery
that
shopping.
makes the train going around makes me think again of Walmart, and it's going to sound like we're picking on overweight people, and we're not because again, I could move pounds myself, and it's just that sometimes I don't the knees aren't working, and I don't want I walk through this whole store. So my husband says, okay, well, why don't you get one of those scooters? And I can't because everybody ever to set on one of Walmart's scooters
Mhm.
are extremely, extremely overweight.
Right.
I mean, not just like,
Anybody I've
oh,
ever
okay,
seen
you
on
got
a
30
scooter.
pounds to lose. No, it's like, how do they even get to the scooter?
Well, that's
And
what I
why is
wonder.
it? Why is it that only very heavy people ride those scooters?
I've
I mean, I
seen
know
one.
why,
I saw
but
one
why
time.
is it?
I saw maybe one or maybe two times, not in Walmart, but a grocery store and stuff, where somebody, they had a bad leg or they had a cane and they weren't overweight. Only one or two, but almost every single. I was in Walmart, which I said I don't go very often. I was in Walmart probably several months back, and I was in the food area, and these two women come up, and the one they're probably in their 30s, and the one woman's on a scooter, and she probably, I'm guessing, I'm not good at weight. I'm talking well over 300 pounds. She wasn't like 500 pounds, but she was obese, and she's sitting on a scooter, and the one woman, the woman who was standing, her friend said, "Oh, excuse me, I backed up because she was," and the woman on the scooter says, "Now you got to picture this. What she wanted on the aisle, what she wanted on the shelf, wasn't up high where she had to get off the scooter. It was even with her, she could just reach over and take it. And she says to her friend, let me see that box right there. I mean, it's 2 feet from her, and all she has to do is reach out, and so her friend hands it to her, looks at that, and she goes, hands it to her friend so she can put it back. She goes, well, let me see that one right over there. And I thought, not only, now maybe she had something wrong where she couldn't walk, but you know what? I don't think so. I think she's so lazy. She couldn't even reach her arm out to pick up a box. She had a friend sitting there, and my first thought always on that is like you said, how did they get to the cart or the scooter to begin with?
Get to the cart? Yeah, how they get there? No, I've never seen anybody ever in Walmart that was less than 350, 400 pounds on a scooter. Never. I've never seen a thin person. I've never seen someone just a
and
little.
What happens if they get to the other side of the store and that scooter breaks down? Do they have like scooter rescue? Do they have like a scooter tow truck and the person's, well, I'm not getting off of.
They're like, Bob, I'll force scooter down.
Scooter down. Bring the emergency scooter. Yeah. What happens if the battery?
Yeah, because those batteries only go so long.
Well, not only that, you're pulling an awful lot. That battery's really getting. It's getting a workout. Now you get to the other side of the super Walmart, and a half a mile on the other side of the store is where they're going, or where the door is, and my scooter stopped. Well, we better get the scooter rescue truck over here and jumpstart your scooter.
You've never been in Walmart when they've said that? Scooter down, aisle 5. No, I haven't either.
Oh.
I guess, especially if you're by yourself, you have to like start screaming like for help because your scooter.
A scooter.
Yeah. Now my mother, when she was alive, now she wasn't, but she did go on a scooter in a different grocery store, and she couldn't maneuver it right, and she at the time my one son, he was younger, worked at this grocery store. Anyway, and she's trying to get out of the area, and she knocked a whole big display of wine down, just bang.
Oh,
and did they all break? I don't know. Oh. I don't remember because we were trying to get out of there so quick. Because she's like, "This guy here." And then I don't know if he was kidding or not, but my son said they watched it on camera and they seen it was his grandmother. But I don't know if he was kidding or not. But yeah, it made me think of that. But yeah, I mean, I would kind of like to go on a scooter sometime because it's easier for me sometimes.
Right. But no. Yeah, it's that.
I can't. No.
Look at that woman on that scooter, right?
Yeah, because they're like I say, they're just like fall fat. I mean, I know it sounds like we're getting out there like really fat people, but I guess we're not, are we?
No. I don't know. I thought we were talking about scooters.
I mean, if any fat people are listening, just tell us, Yeah, well. There's the one thing, being overweight and and you can dress the part,
right.
Dress the part.
No, I have, if people are overweight and maybe they're trying to really overweight and they're trying to lose, I have all the compassion in the world for them.
Well,
And
they're
I know,
not trying to lose weight. To each their own. They want to be heavy. They want to go to the
well,
store.
if you're riding a
Their own.
scooter because you're overweight, you're not trying to do anything.
Well, no.
If
Well,
you're
yeah,
just
but
overweight
they're
and
riding a scooter because they can't walk. They're so
right.
fat they can't walk. They can't walk.
Well, they walk to the scooter.
Maybe.
Did they have like scooter
Maybe.
patrol? That did they have
No,
like a
but
scooter
maybe the
shuttle?
person they're with brought the scooter out to them, so they didn't have to
I
even
bet
walk.
they have. It's not telling me. All
Yeah.
scooter people get on the shuttle. We'll take you.
They could have. Maybe I just never saw it.
They
I
should
know
have
one
that.
time I was in there. I know one time I was in there, and there was I guess, a married couple, and seriously, again, they were at least 500 pounds, and both of them, and they were each on a scooter, and they had two full carts. I mean, to the top of those carts, full of food. Well, they couldn't push them on their scooter, so two guys from Walmart had to push their two full carts of food out while they skedoodled
Well,
out
they
there. And
need
I mean,
scooter trailers.
scooter
Why don't they have?
trailers?
Why don't they have scooter trailers?
Like,
You know?
what do you do?
Well, instead of putting it all in a basket, you got a trailer hooked to the scooter. Now they don't got to push the basket. You got a trailer hooked. That's a great idea. I'll bring it out to Walmart. That way, if you're on a scooter and you're by yourself and you need groceries, you can't push the basket. If you're doing a full grocery shopping, you put it in the trailer.
So
Now you got a scooter and a trailer.
you pull the trailer behind you.
It could be like they could even make them so they look like a little pickup.
Yeah, but the scooter couldn't move with the trailer and the person on it. And we do sound like we're picking on overweight people. And I'll say it one more time. I myself need to lose pounds. So, no, I'm not one of them, people we're talking about, but, I'm not. So I guess it's just, I think it's more, to me, it's not the weight, it's the mindset of these people. It's the mindset.
Right.
What causes you to dress like that?
Like I said, I have all the compassion in the world. If somebody's overweight and they want to lose weight and they don't like the weight they're at, and like I said, you got 60% of the American population is obese.
Is it
and
60% now?
60%, and it's like,
yeah, but I think they made the obese. No, I think they made the obese. You could be like 30 pounds overweight, and your doctor could put down obese. They did that to my mother once, and she was not obese, believe me.
Right.
And she read her chart once, and she's like, they had obese on my chart. And I'm like, well, maybe if you're 10 pounds overweight, they put obese now. Because my mother was not obese. And she read her chart once when a doctor left the room or something, and they had female, white woman, obese. Oh, she was mad. She's like, obese? So maybe, if 10, 20 pounds is obese, then I don't know what the 200 pounders are overweight or 300 pounds. But anyway, we're not picking on. I'm more concerned about their mindset.
I spent
my whole life trying to hide a flaw and make sure the shirt's long enough, make sure it's a little baggy here. I've had some clothes, some shirts I loved. I loved them. And oh man, that's just too short. I don't need that. So I spent my whole life trying to camouflage. And, even when I was young, and camouflage this, hide that. So I just don't understand their mindset.
Right.
When they have, this fat hanging everywhere and they buy their clothes too small. But
well, I don't know. I'm just starting to redesign the scooter for Walmart in my mind. Because I think it could look like a little old fashioned, like a little old fashioned pickup truck, something like that. And you just, you'd sit on it, and you got, you got the truck bed, and that's for all your groceries, and you can drive it around, and you can have have a horn on it, and little headlights maybe, and then when you have a scooter down, now you got your emergency flasher, maybe a little on the top.
Instead of Black Hawk down, Scooter down.
Scooter
How about
down, and
this?
you got a
How
little
about
light
this?
flashing.
How about this? They have a scooter, a couple scooters that say, 10 to 20 pounds overweight, and then a few more that say 50 to 100 pounds overweight, and then another one,
And then they got the
200
one
pounds.
with the double back tires that are twice as big, and it's got the instead of a seat on, it's got a bench, and so yeah, because you know what, we saw those videos of somebody or pictures of somebody, the person who took pictures of people in Walmart and did videos, and there was that one picture from behind, and there was like a foot on each side of that person's butt hanging off the side of that scooter. And that person had to be 500. Yeah, don't you remember we were looking up? Yeah. And it was like, that'd be 500-600 pounds. I'm like, it was like, I don't know.
Speaking of mindset, Trump. Go ahead, tell me something about Trump I don't know.
Well, did you hear today that I heard in my car that Trump said that Access Hollywood tape was fake? It was fake.
No. See, I didn't get to watch anything today because I went to the doctor. Did he really today?
Fake. Yeah.
It's fake.
And it was fake. Yet he said, then they played right after it when he apologized during his campaign. They played where he said something to the fact that I did say it was wrong, and I apologize.
Not only did he say that, but his wife, Melania, did a full interview, and that tape came up. And she said, I watched it, and she said, she told him, I didn't like what you said in that tape. But that he apologized to her, and she accepted it. So, I mean, one thing with Donald Trump, he really does. He forgets that there's video of him in the past. He doesn't forget. He's just a liar. But, all they get, like you said, all they got to do is pull up where he apologized to it, where his wife said he apologized to her for it, and now that video is fake.
Well, I mean, he just tells lies. Just like
those words.
He said one day, I hardly ever watch TV. And yet someone inside,
5 to 6 hours a day. 5 to 6
hours inside of the White House, and 5 to 6 hours a day. If he didn't watch TV, he wouldn't be able to be tweeting during the time they're doing CNN and MSNBC, 6 o'clock in the morning. As I'm going to work, I'll turn on CNN for a minute, catch the latest headlines if I can even see the TV, because I'm not really a morning person. And and even Chris Cuomo will go, oh, we know you're watching. Yep, here comes the tweet.
Oh, sure, he'll tweet right while they're watching.
But he doesn't watch television.
Said, well, on this show they said this about me. But the White House has already put out 5 to 6 hours a day, and he can be heard. He can be heard in his screaming at the TV. But
he likes it.
Who he's talking to again? Every time he talks, every time he calls news fake news, every time he says the FBI, they're just witch hunting with him. The FBI. He's talking again to that 35% base. He knows that people like you and all those, political, intelligent people and reporters, they know he's lying. He doesn't care. He knows they know he's lying. He talks to that small 35% base of his. And that's all he cares about. And it just shows how ignorant he is.
Well, I'll tell you, I think exactly.
That 35% base is not going to reelect him.
I'm not an expert, but it seems awful interesting to me that what did I see the other day? I talked about it. The last podcast that, if they're going to ask people like Al Franken and this other guy to step out of the race, and Al Franken to step down. Why are they step down?
Well,
Right.
now
He's coming
yeah,
out the audio. You know, that was a fake tape because he knows he's just as guilty as the rest of these people.
exactly.
You know,
And Al Franken actually did a live interview this morning.
well, the difference is that Al Franken admitted to it, and Donald Trump refuses to say he did anything.
He admitted to it, Al Franken. He apologized to the woman. He said he was ashamed and embarrassed, and he learned from it, and on and on. And no, he said he's not going to resign. And you know what? He shouldn't have, because you have our president who's done just the same or worse, and he's our president, and he's going to remain our president. And so, no, Al Franken or anybody else shouldn't have to step down. They shouldn't have to. There's a senator, what is he? Senator Jenners, or I should have wrote it down. But you know, he has some accusations out there, and he's done some wonderful, wonderful stuff in the Senate, and he's not stepping down either. And it's like, why should he? Why should any of them?
Well, I mean, they shouldn't unless Trump says, "Well, I was this, and I have." You know, you're just being. You know, you're just being. You know, you're just being. So it sounded like, you know, he said he tried to do everything he could to get that woman. He bought her furniture and everything else because he tried to, you know, what her. And, you know, right.
Said I tried like a bitch was his words to get her in bed.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can't believe anything comes out of that. I'm not going to. I don't, like I said to you before, I don't even know how to react to this, to these.
I know
these things
so
that,
much you don't know anything else.
I don't.
Wow,
what do you say? Yeah, you're just like, wow, that. Well, it's not normal. I don't know what else to say about it. You know, you know, you're a narcissist. You know, and I don't know what else. I don't know what else. You know, I don't. All I can say is, you know, it's all these shows, CNN and MSNBC and everybody else. You know, they got lots to talk about. They're loving every minute of it. Because every night they can get their panels of people on there to talk about what's going on, and they hardly ever talk about some new law or some policy he's trying to pass. It's always about what did he say, what did he tweet, how did he act. You know, we're living in a time where how many people get to see this? You know, how many times are you going to see a presidential race like that last one? How many people? How many people can sit there and degrade women and can come out with a tape like that, and yet the people say that's okay, we don't mind. You know, I saw the women. I saw women. I saw women. You know, I saw the women. I saw women. I saw women. You know, I saw the women. I saw women. I saw women. You know, I saw the women. I saw women. I saw women.
He never stopped. That's when he still degraded women. You know, for the next 10
Oh
years.
yeah. Oh, I know. I mean, I could almost see. I could see the men excuse that's locker room talk. You know, talk that way all the time. But the women, even the women stood up for him. It's like the man. And you know what he made that statement in the campaign. You know, what did he say? Something like, you know, I could shoot somebody or something like. What?
I could go out in New York City and shoot somebody on the street
and they wouldn't lose it. I don't believe he would. People would probably say, "Well, that's okay. At least see you know, that's okay because you know he doesn't want to take away our guns, and he's got one, so we'll let him shoot a few people, and we're going to still elect him as president." I've never seen anything. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, look at Romney. He made that one statement, 33%. Boom, that killed his career. You know, the 33%. I mean, that didn't kill his career. I mean, it killed his president. You know, his running for the president. That just knocked him right out. This man did everything that any other person, one of those things, just one of those many things, would have knocked anybody else out of the race. And so I don't understand it. Okay, I just don't. I don't understand it. You know.
Yeah, it's like never before, never like we talked. Except Mitt Romney, he said one wrong thing, and that helped kill his campaign.
Right, and one guy, I always forget his.
He always apologized for his money. He always apologized because he was rich. Nobody cared that he was rich, but he did. He like apologized for it.
Yeah, Trump puts down a Gold Star family. He puts down women. He puts down the media. He restricts the media.
He puts down his own party, his senator, his own party.
Right.
He puts them down. He calls, Kim Jong little Lidl.
How many people could get away with calling all of their competition in the campaign?
No.
Crooked Hillary and Lion Ted and little Marco. How many people could get away with that? Why did he get away with it? Yeah, why? How? I don't get it. That's why I said I don't even know how to respond to this.
I don't think any normal person gets it. They really don't. They don't. Nobody gets it. What happened?
Right.
And what's so scary is someone else, Republican or Democrat, are they going to run in 2020 on that same platform? Because look, it worked for Trump.
Right. It'll work for me.
Yeah. It's very scary. Very scary.
You know, we always said, I said, it shows that people don't want a politician in there. People are tired of the crap that politicians, give everybody all this bull and they lie to everybody. So we want somebody that's not a politician. Yeah, not this. I agree. If you had somebody in there that just spoke for the people, but this is like, I don't know where it's at. I don't know where it's at. They're telling what, and and it'll. I mean, he's only been in there a year, and we got three more years. Not even a year, and we got three more years. I don't know. And then if he runs again, well, you know what? If he runs again, and this country elects him again.
Yep, that's, you know what?
Yeah, you got him. Take him. I don't care. I'm gonna move to Switzerland.
I'm sorry, I'm answering a text here. Do you have your
Huh?
which Bluetooth are you using?
I'm using my little one. Why?
Oh, okay. Oh no, I was seeing we're people were saying they're having a difficulty talking. I don't know if it means me or you.
Well, let me go change. Let me go change to
No,
something else. So what I noticed, sound every 15, 20 seconds, there's like a dead spot.
yeah,
There's a
yeah.
dead spot
I
in your
noticed that
voice.
with you. Yeah, yeah. There's
I
a
don't
dead
know if
spot.
it's a Bluetooth, but give me 1 second here. Everybody, hold on.
Okay.
I do a little change up.
I mean, you don't need to change. I guess
No, but let me
you
try and
sound
see if
good.
it makes.
I'm the one that don't sound good.
Well, let me see if it makes any difference.
But
Hold
we're both on Bluetooth. You know, neither
on.
one
I
of
know.
us talk. Well, yeah.
Okay, hold on.
We're still doing the cheap podcast. Can doing a sound check? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Sound check. Can you hear me?
Hold on. I turned it on, but it didn't go to the phone.
Can you hear me?
Hold on.
I can't hear anything. Now I can't hear Alan. Hello? Hello?
When I turn on, can you hear me?
I know, but now I don't hear
When I
nothing.
turn
Hello?
on when I turn on the Bluetooth, then I don't get any sound or nothing. Well, I'll go back to the little one.
Our director was saying that I need to talk on the phone, not my Bluetooth.
Well, I just switched my Bluetooth, and when I did, it cut out everything. I couldn't hear you. You couldn't hear me.
I can't hear you. Wait a minute. Maybe I have it up too loud. I have it up too loud. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
I might have. Maybe I'm talking too loud. No, they're saying you're fine. I guess trouble hearing me. But I hear the dead spot. I can hear the dead spot every so often.
Right. Yeah, I hear that. Maybe that's just the transmission of the whole thing.
You what?
I said that may be the transmission in the whole thing. You know, how it's transmitted. I don't know.
I hear you. I hear you good.
Okay. So anyway, I don't know. We got a president that I don't know, and I just don't know. I don't know. I just look at it this way. If he runs in the next 4 years, it'll be another interesting.
Well, if the Democrats don't get somebody in there 2020, unlike a Hillary Clinton who, I was a fan of, voted for, but, you got to get somebody fresh, vibrant, talk about the issues, get passionate, which Hillary Clinton didn't. She didn't do that.
Right.
And when she talks now, it's like everyone's like, why didn't you talk like that during the campaign? And her answer is, I was afraid. I was afraid if I got loud. I was afraid if I said something a little out of the way that I would be, oh, she's a bitch. And of course, that's true too. Women get treated differently than men. But you got to get somebody in there, maybe new. I'm not saying a non-politician, but somebody, that we haven't seen over and over, get vibrant, and somebody that can go up against a Trump or somebody like Trump. And Hillary Clinton also said she wanted to go against Trump in that way. But again, if I would have said this or that to him, I'm a woman, I would have been a bitch.
Right.
And you heard that sometime when out on the street per se. She's being a bitch. See, the woman's always being a bitch. But we better get someone in there that can go up against a Trump like person or Trump to call him out. To just no, we can't let anyone like Trump run again without a vicious fight and call him out. Call him out on all his lies. His lies.
Right.
Well, maybe he won't run. Maybe he'll get too old to run.
He'll get bored with it.
Yeah, he doesn't like that White House. Come on. What did he say once? It was junky. White House is junky. Yeah, junky.
I'd like to live in that junk.
I'd like to visit it. I like to at least visit it and sleep in the Lincoln bedroom or something. But you know why it's junky? Because it's old. It's old. And
well, it's not lined in gold like his.
It's not lined in gold. It's not. You got old pictures. They don't take the pictures down. Those are
Well, they're historical pictures.
They're historical, yeah. So he don't like that old stuff. That's why to him the White House is junky.
Right.
And who has ever called the White House junky? Nobody.
Trump.
Yeah, but I mean nobody's ever put down.
Most of it's an honor to be living in the White House. You would think it's an honor.
Well, when he was campaigning, that's what he said. If I get elected, I would never leave. You'll never see me. I wouldn't even think about playing golf, please.
Right.
Idiot. He's the most idiotic president that the United States has ever had. Donald Trump is the most stupidest, uneducated president we've ever had. He is. He's the most, yeah. He has a vocabulary of a 5-year-old, right? I mean, he can't put more than 2 sentences together. He uses his hands like sign language, bad sign language. Mm-hmm. He always puts that okay. He always uses that okay symbol. No. I don't think he'll run again.
You don't think he will?
I mean, only because he doesn't really want to be there.
Right. Yeah, but you also have, for him not to run, be like,
Yeah, but he can still say, I did it. I mean, I've done everything.
Maybe. I mean, what we're trying, but we're also looking into somebody's mind that's not like ours. I don't have any idea what this man thinks.
No one does.
Right. That's why, nobody knows what's going to happen the next day either.
Donald Trump has lived in a world where he's always been right. Everybody has been yes people. Yes, Mr. Trump. Yes, Mr. Trump. Right. And if he didn't like you or you didn't yes, Mr. Trump him, he fired you. Right. That's why he's having a tough time. But he can't just fire. He can't fire everybody he wants.
Right. Now he's not running a business anymore. It's not his business. Now there's a chain of command in the government.
Right. And he has to be accountable.
Yeah, there's checks and balances. And he doesn't like that. He thinks if he can just do something, he'll just do it. And that doesn't work that way in government.
He pretty much does what he wants, though. He really does what he wants.
Yeah, he plays golf.
He does. He's played golf almost half the time he's been in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
But he does. He says what he wants. He does what he wants. And like all the cabinets that aren't filled, like 100+ cabinets, they're not going to be filled. He's not going to fill them.
If he hasn't filled them by now, I don't think they're going to be filled. Which also, brings me to a point. It's like, well, then do we need them that bad? I don't know.
We'll need them when we need them. I mean, I can't obviously think of all the cabinets, but we might go years without needing them. But we'll need them when we need them. You know what I mean? Like, we may not need them for a while.
There's a reason those positions were originally formed. Right. It's just, this is just a White House like no other. And so I guess he's not going to use them. So I don't know.
And I'm not saying every single position we need, every, cabinet we need, but we sure need more than he's appointing.
Like I said, I don't know how to respond to this man anymore. He's just over the top. He's over the top.
Well, and we're not the only ones. I mean, you have um, talking heads that are politics, and they don't know how to respond to him anymore. They don't know. They don't know what to say about Donald Trump anymore. Mm-hmm. They really don't. People that their lives are politics, right. And they're like, I don't know what to say. Yeah. It's like, what do you say? What do you say?
Yeah. I mean, the man puts down Obama for playing golf, and he's out there all the time playing golf. And
he put Obama down.
Put Obama down for taking a vacation and all the money it costs the government to fly to Hawaii, and how much does it cost every time Air Force One flies to Florida?
Oh, he has cost the American taxpayer millions of dollars.
Oh, and how much does it cost? I heard one time, and unfortunately I don't have the information in front of me, but how much it costs a day for the Secret Service, because there has to be so much Secret Service, because they have to have Secret Service at all his resorts, Secret Service at his home Mar-a-Lago, Secret Service for his kids, and it just costing taxpayers a fortune. You don't hear him talk about that, do you? No?
I'd like to say that Peanut 04240 doesn't think that Donald Trump will run again.
Doesn't think he will?
He said recommend his replacement. Do you have a replacement? Who would you like to see run? Oh, who would I compare to Donald Trump? Peanut. He goes, what other person would you compare him to? World leader. Oh, Hitler. Little Kim Jong-un. Definitely Hitler. Right. I think that Donald Trump.
I would. I don't know if I would compare him to.
The reason I compare him to Hitler, I don't say it lightly, is because Donald Trump, in my opinion, wants a perfect, right down to, Hitler wanted the blonde, blue-eyed, white people. And I sincerely believe that if Donald Trump could have his way, he would get rid of black people, Mexicans, Muslims, and have that white race, if he could do it. And that's what Hitler wanted. That's what Hitler wanted. So I mostly compare Donald Trump to. Now, who do you compare him
to? Putin. Which is one of the reasons why, he praises him so much. Because he wants to be just like Putin.
Well, Putin, though, I'm not I'm not sticking up for Putin, but even Putin is an intelligent speaking person and makes sense. And if you put side by side, Donald Trump is like a 5-year-old ignorant child. So even Putin, intelligence, but I don't really know what Putin wants. Like, does he want this perfect race? He doesn't like.
No, but they're both total narcissists.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think that you have to.
Trump has lived in this white, rich world, and people like you and I, we're nothing to him. We're just
sure. It's just like the elitists in this world think of the average person out in our world as rodents. We're just nothing but rodents to them. They want a third of the world population decrease. Because we're
they want people like us. They want people like us to not exist.
Right.
They want
if they want people like us, now I really understand it, because it's people like us that do all the services. When their
Right.
limousine breaks down, who's going to fix it? When they go to that 5-star restaurant to eat every day, who's going to cook the meals? I guess they want enough to be able to do that. Who's going
Well,
to get out
then
there?
that's when your Mexicans are.
Yeah, but
No,
I mean
that's
that's
when.
still that's still they want a lot of the world population to decrease. Yeah, who's going to work the fields? You know, who's gonna go? You know, find the oil and the oil wells. Who's going to service the jets and the planes? Who's going to drive? Who's going to drive you around? You know,
Well,
we
that's
may
the
be
only time he wants the lower class people.
we may be rodents to you, but we're working rodents. You know,
Working rodents. That's
that's
right.
right. We're like little worker ants. We're the reason why this country is going. I mean, the the you know if it wasn't for people like me, I work in a small business. If it wasn't for small businesses, that's what kept this country alive. At least it used to. It used to. I don't
Well,
that manufacturing. We don't have either. We don't have any manufacturing anymore. And I'll
well,
always
no,
say,
we
if
have
you want to get this
nothing really that we're proud that we make
right,
anymore.
I always say, if you want to get this country really back, we got to start making stuff again, because there was a time, if you bought American, you bought the best made stuff in the world.
Right. Well, there was a time years ago when my mom would only buy American.
Right.
Whether it be seriously, whether it be a washer, whether it be a blouse,
Well, sure.
she would purposely, and and she didn't care to tell the workers at the store, I'm not buying that because it's not American made. But now, today, you can't even do that because you won't be buying too much if you just bought American made. You won't be buying too much. Or back when she did it, she had a choice. She had a bigger choice of American made stuff. Today, you can't do that. If you say I'm only buying American, well, American made, you're not going to be buying too much. And exactly, what we have right in front of us, our Apple iPhones, you know,
Hmm.
that we happen to love. I'm a big fan of Apple products. I really am. And I think if I had to replace the Apple devices that I had, I would replace them with Apple. So I'm not putting Apple down, but I mean, look at them. You know,
No, but I mean, if people saw what goes on in the factories in China that make Apple, and I'm a
well,
user of
jump out
Apple.
windows and
I love my iPhone. But if people really saw what happens in these, I mean, they had to end up.
Well, I think we know. I think we all know.
Well,
We
they
know
had to
how they
put
work. We know
yeah.
how they committed suicide, jumping out windows.
Well, they had to put up suicide nets
Right.
on the
Yeah.
condominium high rises because people were jumping out windows
So we
because
do
they were
know.
working them eight,
We do.
18 hours
We
a
do
day,
know.
right?
But
For
see,
$5 a day.
but we still want the Apple product, and we
Sure we
still
do.
know.
Sure we do. I mean, I saw the one time I saw a documentary, and they'd never let cameras into the Apple factories over there in China. And the places are gigantic, and it's all these workers standing at tables, and just a sea of workers. And this and the one that they were in was making the iPad, and the reporter said to the girl at the end of it, the young Chinese girl said, you know, he was she her job was to put the glass on, to attach the glass onto the iPad. That's what she did in the factory. And he turned it on after it was finished, the finished product. And she'd been working there for I forget how long. She had never seen an iPad on before. She'd
Wow.
never seen one. She'd never seen one working. That was the first time she saw what it looked
Well,
like.
no, they don't make enough money to buy an iPhone.
No,
They
no,
don't make enough money.
uh,
And
no.
and as much as I do agree with Donald Trump when he talks about that. I agree that Apple should have bring your companies, your factories over here, or we're going to tax you so much. I mean, put a hurt on them. Put a hurt on them because they make them for nothing and they sell them for $1,000 an iPhone.
Right.
and not just Apple. I mean, yeah, we need the free trade, and we got to have it, but I don't think to the extent we have it now.
No.
Where
I mean, everything is over there. Everything's over there.
everything's over there. Yeah.
You know. And what happens if suddenly, the entire economy or whatever collapses, or something happens in China where they can't make this stuff anymore? We won't be able to function. You won't be able to go buy a toothbrush. I mean, several years ago, I think it was about 5 or 7 years ago, at that time, which is not surprising to anybody, 85% of every single thing that you buy at Walmart, we're always back to Walmart, is made in China. 85%. What happens if they suddenly stop selling to us, or suddenly, we don't have to go to war with China. All they have to do is cut off trade, and we won't be able to buy it. We won't be able to, buy a roll of toilet paper, because it's all made there. Remember for years when everything was made in Japan, then it was made in Taiwan. Everything was made in Taiwan. Now China.
Oh, yeah.
Now China. And I saw something a few years ago. It was a documentary, and it was showing just miles of warehouses, factories in China. And it was showing this one factory, and they're opening the gates, and all these Chinese workers are standing there in their uniforms. You didn't see one smile on their face. They look just the most miserable.
They are.
Yeah, well, it's slave labor. I saw another girl who made these big outdoor umbrellas for like your patio for Costco. And she made them in China, in one of the factories. And they showed her this big old huge umbrella, and she's reached up there and she's trying to sew it together. And I just thought, that looks like it'd be killing your arms. And she did 80 of those umbrellas every day. 80 of them.
Oh, wow. 80.
80,
and did it say what she made? I heard your phone ding. But did they say what she made?
No.
They make like what, pennies?
They make about
10 cents.
Yeah, I mean, we're extremely fortunate in this country. Somebody was telling me, somebody that I used to work with, mom was from the Philippines, right? She had a friend in the Philippines, okay? A 4-year college degree. She was a bank manager, okay? Do you know what she made? 4-year degree and a bank manager. What? $200 a month. $50
a month.
A month.
Oh my.
$50 a week.
Wow. What do you think a bank manager here makes? I mean, I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't know. It depends on the area, probably. Oh, 50, 75,000. I don't know. It depends on what area you live in, probably.
I don't know. I think a bank manager maybe 6 figures, huh? It's not like a big deal to be a bank manager.
Depends on the bank. Depends on where the bank is. I mean, if you're talking about a huge bank, or you're talking about an independent bank in a small town in Idaho, I mean, it just depends on where you're at, the demographics. I mean, everything. So.
Yeah, in the banks today. I mean, you walk in a bank around kind of where I live, and there's it's real small buildings now, 2 tellers, nobody in there.
Well, nobody's in there anymore.
What does the bank manager do? Seriously, there's nobody in there.
Where I work, we use the bank. It's only like a block away. And years ago, I would go in there to do deposits and things like that. And they had 2 desks in the middle of the bank, always somebody there. There's a couple of women that were always there. I don't know if they're probably like loans and like that. Then they had 3 or 4 rooms on the side wall.
Right.
They had people in them. And then you would go in there, and there was always 4 or 5 tellers. It was a busy bank, 4 or 5 tellers. And there was always 2 or 3 people in each line. You go in there today, and I've gone in there just last week. All of those offices on the sidewall are just dark. There's nobody, and there's nothing on them. It's like they just don't use them anymore. There's no desk in the middle. There's a little welcome desk as you walk in, and they say, welcome, There's one office where a guy works, and there's 2 tellers. And the last time I went in there, the guy was sitting there, and he just had a book he was reading, and I was the only one who walked in the bank. I'm the only one in there.
And you live in a populated area.
Right. And it's because everybody is, doing online banking. They don't need it. It's like, they're online shopping. I just heard the other day, I forget how many Walmarts are actually closing. We'll always get back to Walmart. So I forget how many Walmart. Amazon's putting them out. And now Amazon is talking about opening up their own stores. Then we can talk about the Amazon wall.
Amazon they reported that from midnight on Black Friday till about 6 in the morning, they reported just those 6 hours that online shopping had already reached the billions of dollars in just that short time. Yeah. But, I mean, that's the way it is now. I want to see on drone. I want to see them start working.
Oh.
that's never going to make it. You got people grabbing them drones and beating them, hitting them and smashing them and stealing.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to take off, but we'll see.
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
But you look at the home shopping.
They're only going to be able to bring packages that are very lightweight. They're not going to be able to. They're not. Oh, I ordered a television.
But what happens though if, like, okay, say it takes off, and now you get all these drones flying around. Mm-hmm. Like, are they going to be in the way? And I just
it could cause a problem with planes and everything else.
Well, I don't know if they'll fly that high, but even if they don't, I mean, I'm talking about just hitting, causing trouble with each other. If you start to get all these drones flying around,
right? I don't see it, because they talked about with the drones, you get to the point where you would order something from Amazon and you'd have it in 30 minutes.
Are you serious?
Well, it depends.
Oh, wow.
Not everywhere. It depends if there's a local type distribution center close to you.
That'd be like ordering a pizza.
Right. Right. Look at it now. Where I live, now you have all these people, so many times, and I order a lot from Amazon. There, it used to be everything came UPS, pretty much. Sometimes through the post office with Amazon. Now you have all these independent people. They're driving white vans, and they got the vest on, the green vest, and that's who's delivering. That's who delivers to where I live all the time. Is independent people are delivering this stuff because UPS that's so that all these people can get this 2 day, and so I don't know what's gonna. It keeps growing and growing. They're going to have to be building more distribution centers and things like that. But yeah, if you live close by, or maybe I don't know how close they were talking about, or near a distribution center in your area, you order it. It goes onto the drone. That drone slides it over to your house, drops it off. Yeah.
Well, and when I said pizza, why not eventually pizza being delivered? Now I have to be the pizza person.
Where is that new shirt I ordered? It's been 40 minutes now.
Yeah. I have to get dressed and go.
Amazon's slacking off. I ordered that shirt 40 minutes ago, and it's not at my doorstep yet. Now instead of following UPS trucks around to steal packages out of the front door, people would just be going, Bob, follow that drone. Follow that drone.
Well, sure. Yeah, that's going to be a big problem. I don't think it'll ever take off. I don't care what they say. No.
Yeah, and who's controlling these drones?
You have a drone, you're right. You see this, you're walking down the street and you're two young, thugs. And, okay, the drone has to come down low enough now because it's reached your street. Mm-hmm. So now it's low enough for two thugs see it. You're right. And so let's follow that drone. And there you go. Then you're going to have to get yourself a ring. So, where you can see who they are and call the police. So now you have to invest in the Ring doorbell.
Right. Or what if you just have, are you going to have people like vandals and stuff, trying to get the drones, busting up the drones, things like that?
That's what I'm saying. The two thugs see it going down the road.
Be like, I want a drone.
I want one of those drones.
Yeah. I don't
And
know if
maybe
you
the
take
drones
off.
are sophisticated enough. They got a camera and they can tell, take a picture of you. At least thugs don't care. They're still gonna take it.
All
I
right.
don't care if they get a picture of them. No, I don't know. I'll never see drones happening. I just don't. Not to the, the way they talk. They're gonna deliver so much stuff.
Well, I mean, that's the thing.
I mean, online shopping is enough. I mean, like you said, you ordered something on a Monday and you got it on a Tuesday.
Oh yeah, I did.
So
I just did. I just
it,
did. I ordered something. I ordered something Saturday for my sister wanted me to order something for a friend of my mom's for Christmas, and it was here this morning. I heard this tap at my door, and I'll open the door, see the guy's already gone. They didn't stop him. Saturday evening.
Saturday. Wow.
Saturday evening, and it came this morning. It didn't even come like late today. It came this morning. They're like 10 or 11 o'clock.
Yeah, so you don't need the drones.
Yeah, no, you got people in white vans. Those are the drones. They're running around like crazy. You know? No, I don't. We're getting at that.
I think
that's another thing.
maybe not even in our lifetime, but it'll be where online shopping is about it. Even Walmart might close stores and be on. Everything's gonna be online shopping.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think there'll still be some things.
And then you got people getting fatter from that. It's
right,
about
that's
that.
what I'm saying. You don't even have to go to the store.
I
don't go to the store. You can order groceries online. Amazon, wanted to start doing like fruits and vegetables and things like that, like a fresh. I forgot what they were calling it.
Well,
something fresh,
I can go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Huh? No, I seen an advertisement that. God, now I'm hearing other voices.
Oh.
Do you hear it?
Maybe that's that house you're living in. I don't hear anything. What other voices are you hearing? Hello?
It's actually my voice from about 10 minutes. That's our conversation coming back to me. Like we were comparing Donald Trump to what leader?
Oh, really?
That's all? Oh, okay. I'm hearing okay, never mind. I'm good. I turned that down. I forgot what I was going to say because I thought.
Oh, you're talking about Amazon.
Well, I forgot.
No, I think there will always be people. The problem is there are lots of people that still prefer to go to a store, look through it, pick it up, hold it. But the problem is that can the store afford to do it?
Right,
yeah.
They can't.
They can't. That's why they're closing left and right.
Look at even Amazon is affecting Walmart sales, and when you affect Walmart sales, that's pretty hard to do. That's the only competition Walmart has is online buying. eBay, Amazon,
and Walmart has their own online, but it's still hurting them. Every store has its online.
And here's another thing. I remember a couple years ago. I probably shouldn't even go into this, but I'll try it. A couple years ago, my son wanted to buy his daughter a toy, a very popular toy, and it was a monkey. That did things, and no stores had them. Even my other son in a different state looked for that monkey. Every store was a monkey, right? Mm-hmm. Guess what? Went online, got the monkey delivered to our house in a couple of days.
Right.
So that's another advantage. You can't find it in the store, but you can find it online.
My sister just told me today that she was going to go look for a movie for somebody for Christmas. And so I think it was Barnes and Noble. So they had it online, but she thought my mom might enjoy.
Are they still open?
Yeah, well, I don't know. My sister's here visiting. She finds more places than I even know exist. Anyway, so she called there about something. She thought my mom might enjoy riding out, there. and this movies or whatever, these DVDs were on sale when she looked them up.
Yeah.
But they weren't on sale in the store.
Wow.
So I thought, I'm like, you're hurting yourself there. If you went to the store, you didn't get them on sale. If you order them online, you got them on sale. It's like you're hurting yourself for that.
You're using your gas and the item is more money.
I mean, I love buying online, but I also think about, all the businesses that, it's hurting. The buying online is convenient. Everybody knows that, comes to your house in a couple of days.
You want to support your small businesses.
Right.
Okay. They're not going to have it. You want, product A or B. They're not going to have it. So what do? You're almost forced to go online.
I know. You can find just about anything online.
Right.
I need some dried dinosaur poop. There it is. We've got your dried dinosaur poop right here.
I got dinosaur poop I already ordered for my sons for Christmas.
Do you? What are you going to do? Use some paper weight? Yeah.
We'll wrap it up. Send them dinosaur poop. I know dinosaur poop's out there.
Oh, my dad, before he passed away, of course, he didn't want anything to do with a computer, but every once in a while, he'd need a part or he'd need something for the work that he was doing. And he's like, I've looked around. I can't find it anywhere. I've driven all over the place. I can't find it. Can you look on the computer and see if you can find it? Boom. Got it.
Yeah. So how do you even support your stores? Even your
well, I mean, you can still go buy from them, but if they don't have it, then what do? We don't have it in Target, but if you get it online in Target, we have it. Well, I don't know. It just seems like they're hurting themselves with that. But I don't know what's going to happen with the future of buying. I mean, I think online is just going to keep going more and more and more and more. And so, and younger people growing up, that's the only thing they'll know. So they're not going to be thinking about
online shopping, online banking, online everything.
Yeah. Well, I've seen that commercial where you can buy a car online, forget the salesperson.
Yeah, with the blowy.
Yeah. Now you get that. Well, I can't imagine. Well, maybe if you test drove the car, you want to go buy yourself a Honda something. You go test drive the car, drive it all around. You really like the way it handles. Now you go online and but you still got to go through the salespeople if you're going to test drive it. I can't imagine just looking at a car online and going, yeah, that looks good, and then ordering it without driving it, see how it feels. I can't imagine doing that, but I guess there's something. Well, I knew somebody, a customer that actually they bought a car online. They bought it sight unseen. They bought it online, and maybe they did it. I think they did it through the dealer, but the dealership just drove it to their house. They signed the papers right there. She never went to the dealer or nothing. She sat in
the commercial we're talking about, it shows when that blow up thing looks out the window, his car was brought by some white truck in the driveway. So they deliver those cars right to your driveway. Right.
Yeah, it comes on some other thing. Well, I think she ordered it like through the dealer online. You go to Honda or Toyota or anything and look at their cars online, and I guess she just ordered that way. She didn't want to go in there, and she didn't test drive it. She said my friend had one and I liked it, so I ordered it.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. She knew she liked it. Or say you went to a dealership and they didn't have the color you wanted, but you knew you liked the car. You test drove it and then you ordered online. That would be okay.
Yeah, but they're saying avoid the salespeople. If you go to look at a car, try going to a dealership and just saying, I just want to test drive your car. You're going to be harassed, or you still got to deal with the salespeople. So, I'm talking about people that just, you go on a website and look up a Honda Civic. I think I'll buy that car. I like that color. I want that color. And you just have it delivered to your house without driving it. But it works for them. Well, that's the society we're living in. Everybody wants everything.
We're fully coming into the Jetson. That's what we're doing.
Yep, out of the
You know what I would
Flintstones
like to know?
into the Jets.
I would like to know who invented the Jetsons cartoon, because seriously, they were. We're talking back in the '60s. The Jetsons were on early '70s.
Right. Yeah,
Who
60s, I think.
who invented that cartoon?
I
Who
know.
was so that much advanced on technology?
Uh-huh. Well, look at Star Trek. Look at some of the things on that. You've got
Yeah,
the,
but
the transmitter. What was that? It was a flip phone. You know, the person who developed MP3 digital MP3 downloads and all that stuff, who developed it, got the idea through something on Star Trek. That's what got his mind going, and that's why he developed the whole, digital download for like MP3.
oh yeah, I mean Star Trek. I know, but I mean the Jetsons. It was like
Well, sure,
they
they
had
had
online, and they had the robot, and they had the order stuff online. And remember, they had he could always talk to his boss through
right on
that
the screen.
TV monitor. Yeah, I mean, there we are. We're here today. We can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, how so many years ago even fathom that to
Yeah.
where it literally has come true. It literally has, right down to flying cars. I mean, I watched some, just proteges, whatever they call it, of cars, and protege, and I watched it fly. I watched it drive, take off, fly.
Well, you know what? If you're gonna have flying cars,
we're going there. No, we're going to go there.
Oh, if we're gonna go there, I don't know where you live, but where I live, the traffic is horrendous. One of the worst in the country.
You know where I live.
I know where you live. I know where you live. You know where I live. But you know what? That's some of the worst traffic in the country.
Yeah, you do.
And you know what? If half those people flying, and I see how they drive, if those people got to fly, I'm staying in the cave. Because I'm not. No.
Well, you know what my problem is, Tony, about flying cars?
Yeah, you got to land them.
No, you got to get in the air, just an airplane, and claustrophobic stuff. So I wouldn't be able to go in a flying car because I'm like, well, you know what?
Keep the windows open. What's the difference? Wait. What's the
window? I could crack open the door.
Well, what's the difference? What's the difference in being in a car with the windows open and a flying car with the windows open?
Because in a flying car, I'm too high up. Same with an airplane. How am I going to get out? They just leave that door open to the airplane. That's all they got to do. I can fly anywhere.
Huh?
Leave the door open. Suck everybody out. I don't care.
Well, you need to call United Airlines. You need to call United Airlines.
Tell them to invent a door that they can leave open, that we don't get sucked out, our oxygen, so I can please fly on a plane. That's all I got to do. Leave a door open. Same with an elevator. Leave that door open. I could go 15
What do you think? If you ever seen those glass elevators? I've only been in one of them that went on the outside of the building.
I've seen
I was in San Francisco, or maybe it was L.A. when I was young, and it was a glass elevator, and that gave me the creeps. I mean, I ride an elevator every day where I live, but this was like a glass, and you're on the outside of the building. And do you think you could ride that?
No, because it's not whether it's inside the building or outside. It's I'm closed up and I can't get out. If they leave a door open or like a half door, I could run on the outside, 20 stories up. It's all about being closed in, because the elevator that is at one of my doctor's offices, half of it is all glass, so you can see the whole lobby, but I'm still enclosed. That glass is still enclosing me. Now, if that glass was like halfway up and then the rest, like where no one could fall out, just halfway, I could ride an elevator, 30 flights up. No, it's just the closed in, I can't stand the close. And that's the reason I can't fly. Not that I'm afraid to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I like I mean, I understand that, but I don't see the flying car thing.
We have a Hanna Barbera. Well, invented the Jetsons. I don't know.
Hanna-Barbera?
Is it Hanna Barbera?
Well, it's a Hanna-Barbera production, so whoever Hanna-Barbera is.
I don't know. Is that who
It was a production, I think.
Is that who produced the cartoon, or who?
Probably.
What I'm saying is who invented that concept?
Who wrote for it?
I think Hanna Barbera was like the producers of the Jetsons, but like who invented?
Who came up with the ideas? Yeah. Who wrote the script? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
Nostradamus, maybe somebody who could see into the future.
Who?
Nostradamus. It was 1600s. You know, saw all these things in the future. You know.
What was his name?
What? Nostradamus. In his writings, he foresaw things like, you know, World War I, World War II, Twin Towers, all that. And some of it's how you interpret what he wrote. I mean, I guess you could say, well, 9/11 happened. Let's look at his writings, and yeah, that sounds like 9/11. But yeah, I mean, he was a.
So, I'd like to know who invented the Jetsons.
We could look that up.
Well, I think we have someone that looks it up.
Oh, well, I know it was a Hanna-Barbera production. I don't know if that's who wrote for it, who came up with the idea.
Well, no, I think Hanna-Barbera. Okay.
I think they did the Flintstones also. I think they did the Flintstones.
Well, yeah, I was saying Hanna-Barbera did many cartoons, but
right.
Hanna-Barbera and his brother invented it.
Okay.
Yes. We have yeah. It's on. It says on the. I don't see it on the stream. But yeah, we can find out.
I got 1962, produced by Hanna-Barbera in 1962.
Right, it was
set, and was set in the year 2016.
2016, really?
No, 2062.
Oh, 2062.
Oh, we'll be there. Oh, we'll be there.
No 2062, we'll be there. And see, that fascinates me. They knew to put it, in 2062, which sounds to me very likely to be pretty close to the Jetsons. And who had that mindset? It says Hanna-Barbera and his brothers invented the Jetsons cartoon. So it amazes me. It just really does. Who had that forethought to say that, I mean, again, look at the TV screens that he talked to his boss from home.
I know. I can't think of what I'm going to wear tomorrow.
I would say old scrubs. I know what I'm wearing.
I mean, I don't know what I'm wearing. I can't think of wearing it. Huh? Oh, that's right. I'm wearing jeans and a t-shirt. That's right. I dress up.
Yeah.
Jeans and t-shirt.
And your Steelers sweatshirt. Because, Steelers.
No, I'm not wearing my Steelers sweatshirt to work. I don't wear it. I wear it.
Don't wear Steelers sweatshirt.
I don't wear that to work because it'll get gross there.
Now, have you wore it out?
Oh yeah.
You live in an area where you would get insulted and all that because you're a Steelers fan?
A lot of different teams, but most people go for the home team, so sure, but nobody said anything to me, but
Well, the Steelers aren't my home team where I live, and yeah, you wear a Steelers shirt out in public, you get insulted. You get told go back to Pittsburgh where you belong, and I'm not from Pittsburgh.
Must because they're doing so good.
And hey, what about them Browns?
What about them?
Well, it just made me think. They won one game this year, and none, to my knowledge, this year. And how you have to feel sorry for them Browns fans, don't you? And how would it be to have a team? oh, we had a bad year here and there, and the Steelers have had several bad
right?
years. But how do you have a bad year after year after year after year after
And,
year?
I mean, I give them credit for still going to the games, but it's like, hey, maybe we'll win one. I
And
mean,
see,
they were
I don't
so
understand
excited. I
enough
think
about football to understand. I don't understand enough to know why you would change your quarterback, change your players literally every year. I don't understand that. Like
change the coaches. Yep.
change the coaches, yeah. Well, I don't understand enough about football to know why a team would do that every year. Oh, we didn't do good. Well, you know, what I would say is you have to, unless you have a really lousy team, your team has to, get to feel each other, how they play, and I don't know. I guess I don't definitely understand enough about it. And then, I always say, the Browns got rid of their coach. I don't know what year. I want to guess the 80s. And now he coaches the Patriots. And it's like, really? I mean, and they threw him they kind of like Cleveland threw him out of town. I mean, he had a press conference and that man was crying because how they treated him was so humiliating.
Bill
And
Belichick?
yeah, and he's been a Patriots coach ever since. And there you go.
There you go. Doesn't seem like they're
I
doing
mean,
too bad,
Cleveland, Cleveland, like in my opinion, degraded that man, and he was booed, and yeah, he was like all teary eyed in his press conference where he's leaving those years ago, and so the Patriots took him. Like, okay, so I don't understand that part of football at all. What makes an
Well, I bet
owner?
they don't understand it either because you know what? They got rid of them and look at the Patriots and look at the Browns. So
Yeah,
I would just say that's poor management or poor
I know, but
ownership.
they
I
don't
don't know
see
which
year
one.
after year after year. I mean, the Steelers had bad years, and they didn't get rid of the quarterback,
Well,
and
wouldn't that
several
come down to
players
the
and
owner?
coach.
Wouldn't that come down to
I
the
think
owners and
we're on the
management?
third. I think we're on the third. Wait a minute. I think we're on the third coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, I mean,
Somebody can tell me
if
I'm
you have
wrong, but
several, if you have numerous coaches, numerous quarterbacks, all these different players, and you still lose, right? And you're still
yeah.
continually losing. To me, that sounds like bad management, a bad ownership. Owners
No, but how could
because
you be so unintelligent? You own this team, and you've seen it's working for other teams, not changing their coaches and their
how can you
quarterbacks
be
and their
so
players.
unintelligent? We've got somebody that's unintelligent that made president of the United States. There you go. That's how.
It's all going to be referred now to, oh, he pulled a Donald Trump. Or he pulled a Donald
That's
Trump.
right.
That's a good one,
That's
yeah.
it.
We
Mm-hmm.
got the most ignorant president of all time. Yeah, that's true.
Really?
I mean, we really
Well,
do. We got the most
I'd like
ignorant.
to
No,
know
I
that.
don't. I don't understand how coaches. There's other teams that do that too. Can you think of any? They get rid of
Um,
their coaches. They get rid of their
yeah,
players. They get rid of their quarterback.
yeah,
Like
I
every
got
year,
a friend of mine. I got a friend of mine
it's
that.
like who wants to buy the jersey of the Cleveland Browns players or I don't want to buy a jersey. If I was a Cleveland fan,
Yeah, I
I
got
don't
a.
want to buy a jersey because they're going to be gone next year. So their
Right.
sales have to be down. What was you going to say?
No, I got a friend I got a brother too that's a Redskin fan, and it's
Yeah.
like they always complain about how many different coaches the Redskins have had and how many different players and things like that.
Really?
I said, well, maybe you should just maybe you should switch teams. Maybe you should just start looking at a
Well,
consistently strong
it's
team
very,
like the
very hard to
Steelers.
switch teams. But, I
The
mean, how do
Steelers
you
have
go
had
with
their bad
players?
years. The Steelers have had bad years, but they've always been
Yeah,
pretty much of a consistently strong team. And I
right.
think that comes down to, your owners and
Well, they've always
managers.
been, what they've always been? There's people that, say, they hate the Steelers, but they respect their franchise. Their franchise as a whole is always been respected. They have the same owners, passed down to the son, I think the grandson. I think they've had three coaches um, in their history. Like I said, I could be corrected on that, but so they're just respected as a franchise. Where I don't know how Cleveland Browns fan, and then look at and I'm not gonna remember it. I don't know if he's. I don't know if he don't. I think he's dead, but I don't know. They used to own the Cleveland Browns, and they went to Baltimore. And while there's probably no original players, the Baltimore Ravens used to be the Cleveland Browns. Well, again, I don't think the same players are there, but they're always a pretty consistent team. So he just took. Cleveland didn't even have a football team for several years. It's like we're getting out of Cleveland. And then they just get a whole new team. I forget who had the owner. God, I can see his face. But yeah, I mean, so the Redskins, you hear they're not any good. See, I don't really keep up.
Well, I don't keep up with them. I don't keep up with them. Like
I mean, some people know all the teams.
I have a friend that's a Redskins fan, and he's always complaining, that they're, I tell him, I'm like, well, you know what? If you're frustrated with it, you can't enjoy it. Maybe you ought to switch to a team that, you stand behind better. I don't know.
I think it would be so hard to switch a team because if you're a true fan, then you're a fan. But the Browns fans, it's like, how do they even go to a game?
Yeah, but if you're a fan in 15, 20 years, you've got this team, and you go there, and you go to the stands, and you root for your team, and okay, they're all teams.
That's what I say. How do they stay fans? Because it isn't just a few bad years.
Right.
And I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I was talking to a guy once somewhere years ago, and we were actually talking about that. And he was trying to explain to me about it's all about money for the owners, and I just didn't get it. He's like, well, if they don't pay a lot of money for this or that player, they're saving money. You have the worst team in the NFL. I mean, put some money out there. So I don't understand it. I don't understand.
No, I don't understand.
Maybe somebody out there does, but I have no idea how.
I don't understand the business of football. I just like watching it, and I'm glad I'm a Steelers fan because you know what? They're a good team, and they're doing good, and they did great last night, and
it was some people say nail biter, but see when it gets down like that, then my leg just starts shaking, and when it's down to the last few minutes, and I just want to leave. I've actually went outside before, and I didn't yesterday, but I don't like it like that. Some people say that's exciting football. Yeah, if it's not your team, I don't think that's exciting football. That's like no. So my leg is shaking.
No, if it's that close and it's your team.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
I like a couple touchdowns ahead, and then I can just enjoy the game.
You know, in the last 7 minutes that you're so ahead that they don't have the time to catch up. Then that's nice. But no, not like last night. No, I don't like that. Because either way, it can go either way. If he'd have missed the kick and went to overtime, and then I believe whoever gets the coin toss, well, sure, they get the whole advantage there.
Right. Yeah, all they got to do is get down far enough for a field goal.
Yeah. So I don't, yeah. And then I think that poor, the kicker, down to him to win the game.
Did y'all hear your phone get a text?
Oh, probably.
I heard a ding.
Ding, ding. Oh. Ding, ding. No, I don't. I don't understand that part of football.
No, I don't either. I don't know. I don't understand a whole lot of it. All I know is they make a hell of a lot more money than I do.
Really?
Huh?
Really? But aren't you one of the people that? Tell me if I'm wrong, but that think they're overpaid?
I'm overpaid?
No.
Oh God! Everybody makes more money than I do.
No, the football players.
Do I think they're overpaid? I think it all comes down what's overpaid. I mean, if the NFL can afford it, then it's I haven't been to professional football game. I don't go to the stadiums, but I mean, they're charging these people a fortune to go see the game, and the networks are paying them a lot of money. All the people out there, every time you go out and buy, a sweatshirt or a hat or a jersey, so are they overpaid? No, they're getting paid for whatever the owners want to pay them.
Exactly. That's what I think. Yeah.
If they make $1 billion a year, if they can afford it, is that overpaid? No, they get to be paid what they want. They have a good negotiator for their contract. I only wish I had their negotiator because I need more money.
See, you need to negotiate with your boss.
Okay. We won't go there.
I know. Why not?
We're not going there.
But you can't negotiate with some people, and
Right. Well, I think and with these players, I saw something one time, a documentary, where I think it was 75% of these professional football players, something like 5 years after they've stopped playing, are filing for bankruptcy. And a lot of these are people that might only play for 3 or 4 years in the NFL, and they come out of college and they don't know the first thing about money. And next thing you know, they got a signing contract, of $500,000, and they're getting all this money, and they don't know how to deal with it. And they talked to several people, and they, this one guy, I forget who it was, and he was a former, he played in the NFL for quite a long time. He's like, I had a house for me. I bought my mother a house. I bought my friend a house, and then I got hurt, and then I didn't get paid. Then I had 3 mortgages. They talked about what some of these players would go to a nightclub.
But see, that could happen to any profession, really.
Well, it could, but the thing is, you're buying such extravagant things because all of a sudden you just get so much money.
Luckily, after a few years, become a CEO of a big business or a top branch of a big company, and you're making $200,000 a year, and so you spend that money, and then guess what? They let you go, or whatever.
Well,
it could happen.
What they were saying is that these people go from nothing to boom, and they're young. You gotta remember, all these guys are in their 20s and stuff.
Right.
And this one guy said, it's like owning a corporation. All of a sudden, if somebody handed you a corporation, would you know how to deal with it?
Yeah.
They would.
I give the football players a lot of credit, most of them.
Yeah, but I mean, they would talk about, these young guys. They go into these clubs and stuff, spend $60,000-$70,000 in a night in a club, buying the whole club, drinks.
20 years old,
yeah. Sure. They're out there having a good time, and they're rich.
Yeah.
And they're buying all these cars, and they got 3 or 4 cars, all this stuff. They don't know how to, they said that these companies would come in when you see all these like NFL players, like after the game, or they're going, they show them when they're getting off the plane, and they're all wearing, nice suits and stuff. There's these companies that'll come in there, and they'll come into the team, and they'll have these, $10,000 suits, and they'll have a whole line of them. These guys will spend, $50,000 on suits. You buy all these suits and ties to wear when you're in public and all this stuff. And they don't know how to handle that money. And the thing is, a lot of them, as soon as they get hurt, now they're in debt up to their ears with all this stuff. And
yeah, but there's many that they handle it well too. And like LeBron James, I mean, they took him right out of high school, not college, and there's nothing bad on his name. Right. He didn't get in trouble and the drugs, and he's done well. And that's why he can still do commercials, because no trouble, no father, no father figure, and they took him right out of high school.
Right.
How do you get that, talented? Gosh. Right out of high school.
Right. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, how do you, these people, I mean, I remember going to school. I was in high school, And, we had this guy there. I mean, this guy from the time he was in seventh grade, he was bigger than everybody else. And, he was just this, and he could do anything. He could play basketball. He could play baseball. He could play football. He could do anything. The way he could run faster than anybody. Right. Some people are just natural born athletes.
Those were exciting times.
Yeah.
Well, we can. We got anything like we want to close out with?
Well, when you go to Walmart, just stay out of the way of the scooters. That's all I can say. And if you see a scooter down, be a good Samaritan and help that person on the scooter. Go get another scooter for them. And until then, until they get the
out of their way.
Patrol. Well, until they get the scooter patrol.
Scooter's pretty good though. I've never had anybody like come near me or wreck into me.
They should have They should have like twice a year Walmart.
They should
clear out the parking lot and have scooter races.
Scooter races.
That would be cool.
Those scooters can't go that fast.
The only problem is if somebody fell off, they couldn't get back on it.
And though, Walmart has the scooters, but they do not. So Walmart, if you're listening, they do not have wheelchairs. Now I would go.
What is that about?
I mean, not one wheelchair. What's up with that? I have to take my own wheelchair sometime when my knees are bad, and I push myself in a wheelchair. I'm okay with that. But Walmart,
that's ridiculous. Maybe somebody wants a scooter. Maybe somebody just wants a wheelchair.
Well, I feel better in a wheelchair than I do a scooter.
And for a company like Walmart, not to have 3 or 4 wheelchairs sitting in each store. Come on, Walmart.
No, here's a better one than that. Several years ago, when my mom, she had a bad hip and she couldn't walk, and there's this big, God, I hate when this. The store that they support handicapped people. Goodwill.
Store? Oh, Goodwill.
And we have this big Goodwill store, right? And, nice to go in there once in a while, We're not rich people. And so I was taking my mother there. And I go in to get her a wheelchair. Because her hip was bad. She couldn't walk. Like, we don't have wheelchairs. You are Goodwill. The reason for Goodwill is they support their money, proceeds go to handicapped people. And they had not one wheelchair in this big Goodwill.
There you go.
I just thought that was like, oh my gosh, you don't have a wheelchair, and yet, your proceeds go to handicapped people. But anyway, I guess we'll say good night.
Yes, and support your local Walmart Scooter Foundation.
Better watch.
Hail to the scooters.
We're not putting down overweight.
I'm not even talking about overweight people. I'm talking about the scooters. This world needs more scooters. We need more scooters. Yeah,
but just scooters on the street.
Just look out for those scooters.
I think I'm fascinated by the people's mindset, not their weight, their mindset.
Right.
Like, get a mirror. Get a mirror. I have a bunch of them. I don't like them, but I use them before I leave the house. All right. Well, so we'll be back next Monday.
Possibly next Monday. Possibly. Yeah.
Possibly. No, we'll be back next Monday.
We'll be back. Next Monday? Okay. We'll see you next Monday.
We'll see you next Monday. 6 o'clock?
Yeah. We'll have a lot more things to get us started on.
Don't get us started. Oh, we'll have a lot of things to get us started by next Monday.
We got a whole week in this wacky world.
Yeah. I get started every day. All right. See you next Monday.